Alright, welcome back. We are about to continue on our little journey here. It's 10 a.m. We're gonna grab our vacuum, and you can actually see we've got like little highlights now of those NPCs I was talking about with the employee locator. So there's one person I want to kind of show you guys that they're going to do a little foreshadowing here for us. So let's go meet them.
I thought I was there, but I'm still here, am I? I'm here, but she's there? I have seen death here. I locked it in with everyone else. Am I there too? We can't go this way. You don't want to. There must be another way out. Manufacturing? I can't remember. I'll follow you soon. Through manufacturing. When I'm back. When I've returned from where I am.
Alright, Alice has gone through some crazy things down security. Little subtle foreshadowing for some crazy stuff here that's gonna happen. And we got another terminal, looks like here, over at the reception desk. Office supply crossbows. This is notice to all Cascade technical staff. We have received some complaints from team members about misuse of office supplies, up to and including improvised weapons for flinging projectiles across the cubicles. We here at Gate understand and commend your ingenuity as scientists. After all, it's why you work here. But if you want to continue working in the department, knock it off. We got ourselves a little picture of a crossbow here. Alright, bad bots. I've mentioned this before, but your security bots are a menace. They don't seem to distinguish between employees at all, and whose idea was it to get them to restock the soda machines? I understand the goal, but there's a ton of valuable equipment in those things, which would have been more useful elsewhere. Maria, why are you telling me this? I'm not in charge of security or procurement. If you're serious, try Anderson. He okayed the Wakeman project, and I haven't had any problems. I stay out of the halls when we shut down the lights, like we're supposed to. Let them do their job. We're making valuable strides here. We got a little picture of a bot. Alright, anvils. What happened to the anvils in our workshop? I needed it to repair some of my tools, but it's gone. Sorry, that was us. Check the supply closet on level 3 by the silo. We are doing some heavy repairs up here, and needed solid working surfaces. That certainly explains the noise complaints. Please let us know beforehand next time. Alright. Let's grab a couple more things. We got somebody hiding in the closet here, so let's go introduce ourselves in just a second here. Grabbing a couple more things. And
I thought they were coming to help, but they weren't gatekeepers. They started shooting. I wasn't trained for this. I'm just a receptionist. I heard their radios, something about level 3. I'd stay away if I were you. Hide somewhere. But not here, alright? Close the door!
so, fun little thing. Oop. The guy Gaz there is actually supposedly the creator of this game, Zag. He just inserted himself by putting his name backwards here. But here you guys can see the real nice use of the vacuum. It just breaks things really fast and brings all the components right to your real fast. So we're gonna see extensive use of this as we continue on in this game. Alright, we're just gonna quickly unlock all these recipes and just get them out of my tabs real quick here. That crossbow we just learned. Some armor. Oh, that rope actually is going to come in really handy here soon. I'll show you in a minute. Alright, so that rope I'm going to quickly make here. It actually is kind of nice. We can use this here rope as almost a little shortcut rather than having to take the stairs all the way down. Just descend like that, saving us like a couple minutes here and there, because we're probably going to be descending that rope many times during this gameplay. Alright, crates are full, so let's go ahead and make a couple new ones. These little storage crates, hopefully we won't need too many before we can get some bigger ones. But we need to clear up some space so we can bring down the rest of the stuff from the upper levels. Alright, putting that stuff away. Let's see. Oh, you know, I forgot about that pork chop. I hope it didn't burn. Okay, thank God it didn't. Okay. Oof, I'm still a bit hungry. Probably should get more food. And we'll store the pest in the garbage. Nice and safe. Get our needs met a bit. Let's put the vacuum back on the charger, just so that way it's ready to rock and roll once we're good. Alright. And we'll go take a little bit of a nap. Power through that. I love that this is like the internet connection loss for those of you that ever played that dinosaur game with Google, so maybe it's just showing my age when I had to live through the time of dial-up internet. I believe that dates me as a prehistoric fossil at this point. Alright, nothing in the freezer, but I do need a desk leg. Perfect. This is gonna be for that crossbow that we can make now. Alright, while we're waiting on the food, I think I'll read you guys a little bit of the journal. Alright, info on office sector. The office sector is a Gate Cascade research facility's main center of administration and comprises 12 levels, as well as several repurposed silos. Once used for storing gas, water, and ore, these immense spaces are now house key perforation research systems. Alright, that's about it for sectors for right now. Let's go check out people. And we have Dr. Richard Moyer, a bureaucrat who believes enlightenment is impossible in absence of order. Kind of nerdy, if you ask me. Oh, food is done. Alright, we're just gonna eat this whole thing like a drumstick, bone and all, just as you do, get that extra protein. And let's grab our vacuum, and let's head up over to the gym this time. Oh no, wait, let's go finish what we were doing before. I think there's hopefully some oil in here that I can use. Fudge. That hurt. Yeah, neat little trick. pests can be flung out of a vacuum cleaner. Makes for a decent improvised weapon. Alright, we're gonna speed it up here as I tear through all this stuff. We found the oil that I was looking for too. And you can see that I got an idea for a cart, which is going to be really crucial later on.
Dr. Derek Mance reporting, Research Director. We now believe IS-171, or the carbuncle, as Peters was calling it, is the larval form of IS-173, and almost certainly 178. Dr. Pendleton speculates there may also be a fourth state we have not yet encountered. And I believe she may be correct. Is it correct? It's an extraordinary shift in our understanding.
You guys a little bit of your Mance. Use that pest as a little cannon and kill another pest. That's always really fun. I guess the only downside is that you do kind of lose out on looting them when you use them as ammo, but there's so many around the facility, it really doesn't matter that much. So we're gonna go ahead back and drop off more stuff. Speed this up real quick as we go through that same routine. Charging things, just eating, drinking, throw a little bit of a pest on the grill there. Try and do somewhat a little bit of more inventory management, and we'll just get these last couple of recipes that we got from picking things up in the kitchen area unlocked for ourselves. Alright, I'm just gonna leave this sped up for a little bit, as I'm gonna probably be going back and forth grabbing stuff and not much to commentate on there. So instead, I'm just gonna tell you guys how I found this game. So I think way back in like 2022 or 2023, I saw this game was like announced on the Steam store, and it looked so much, as you can kind of see, like old Half-Life. I was finishing up Half-Life 1 and 2 with a few friends. There was a game, Sven Co-op. I highly recommend anyone that ever wanted to play like the old Half-Life game, go play that. It's literally free to play, and you can also get multiplayer going, so you can do a lot of fun stuff and play through all of the original Half-Life with friends. But essentially, the video I looked at this made it look like it was just going to be like a Half-Life survival game, and I already really like survival games, and putting in the Half-Life universe I thought would be really interesting, especially with what it showed with like traps and whatnot. So I put it on my wish list, and about as we get to 2024, in fall of 2024, right before the Crush Depth update, which is when they added security and the hydro plant, they brought, is when I ended up buying the game, which honestly it was probably one of the best things I've done. I've loved this game so much. I got friends to buy it and play it. They've loved it. It's honestly been one of the greatest games I've played in my life, and I really hope that you guys enjoy this yourselves. Cool thing, they added new gym equipment that you can use for power, and now we can finally scrap these things that used to not be able to be scrapped before.
Hello? I thought this might be a safe place to wait until they sorted this out. Whatever this is. Looks like I was wrong. That useless rent-a-cop in the plaza said to go through manufacturing, then head for the surface tunnel, I suppose. But that's a whole sector away. If they think I'm walking all that way through their toxic machine shops, they can think again. I'm not ready yet. Just a little longer. Maybe they'll fix this and I can get back to my work. I have samples denaturing as we speak. Ah, gymnasiums. I hate them. Sweaty shrines to insecurity. At least nothing in the C blocks has escaped. as far as we know.
Yeah, that foreshadowing is pretty obvious there, lady.
I'm not ready yet. Just a little longer. Maybe they'll fix this and I can get back to my work.
Guess
I
Dr.
have
Shepard
samples
just
being
really
made
doesn't
for you as
like
we
the
speak.
gym. Ironic that she decided to hide there of all places. So, funnily enough, we actually built a base here before with my friend and my wife. We started here in the locker room as like our big storage area, and then expanded out over to the data farm, which has its own like kitchen and stuff. It was actually a really nice base, and I will give this game a lot of credit. Despite the fact that you can't change a lot of things, you can do a lot of building and make some pretty cool bases. I think maybe in another video towards the end of the series I might show you some of my end game bases, so that way it doesn't show too many spoilers. Alright, so now that it's nighttime, you can see all the facility power and whatnot has been shut off. And that fan that we saw earlier, way back in the beginning, it runs off of facility power. So let's go ahead and go back, because this is one of the only times we can go is at night here.
All
Yeah,
vacant perforations will be resetting in 3,
And
2,
look,
1.
we are free to get
Reset
underneath,
complete.
rewarded with a little bit of tape, but most importantly, get in here. A little pest in the way. Let's go ahead and kill him. If I can hit anything, give him a little stomp. But yeah, this is the locked room, and you can get a good amount of resources here. It actually is nice. That pipe will come in handy later, but we needed an anvil for a repair station, and rather than having to go all the way to Silo 3, we could get one here, as well as a bucket, flashlight, a few other things. So definitely recommend your first night coming here, just so that way you can at least get that anvil so you can make a repair station. Alright, I want to flip this table back. And actually, fun thing, we can block this door actually using furniture if we actually set things up right. Some enemies aren't able to bust down doors if they're actually barricaded. So we can make sure that this door stays shut in case anything spawns in there later. Everything's so much darker at night. And there we can see one of the security bots. But I am not really ready to fight something like that right now. So I think we're just gonna drop off our stuff and get ready to show you guys why I really like the storage cart. As we give, maybe once we reach the morning, we will go and loot the data farm, which is probably where we're going to be getting majority of our electronics that we're going to need for a good portion of the game. Alright. Got our cart ready. Let's go get us some food for the evening. Another drumstick will do. Luckily the stove doesn't shut off for the night. And I think we'll finish it out with a little bit more journal reading. Alright, so Dr. Shepard is staying behind, waiting for manufacturing. Let's see. Dr. T. Anderson, responsible for overseeing implementing containment protocols across all gate facilities. Anderson holds one of the organization's key positions. Alright, Dr. Derek Mance, our man from the recordings. Dr. Mance became Director of Research at Gate Cascade Facility after his predecessor went to become Administrator of the Gate Latch Containment Facility in Tajikistan? No clue where that is, but we have Alice Hong. Alice Hong joined the Gate Defense Team at Rise Biolaboratory in 1988. In 1990, she accepted secondment to the Gate Cascade Research Facility, where she manages research security, and investigation into IS-0102, amongst other subjects. Alright, we got an entry on the carbuncle. Containment Protocols IS-017-A is to be isolated by a perimeter cordon with a radius of 12 feet or greater at all times. No personnel may approach within 10 feet unless wearing full face and body protective wear conforming to GISP bioprotective standards at all times. Full decontamination required on all equipment exposed to IS-017-1-A. And it looks like as we continue along in the facility, we'll be able to find out even more information on this. Alright, we got one on the pest. IS-0173-A. Containment protocol is to be separated from researchers by barriers a minimum of 8 feet in height at all times. Unless subject is sedated or dead, acoustic baffling is suggested for all containment environments, and loud noises or use of power equipment is strongly discouraged. Subject is to be fed remotely. And we can even see underneath that little picture there, it shows that this thing is weak to blunt weapons. Weaknesses will actually come more into play later in this game, just to kill things faster. Alright, one for the peccary. Any containment space for IS-0178-A specimens must measure no more than 3 by 3 meter square, ensuring the subject is unable to attain a velocity greater than 5 meters per second. All walls and flooring must be reinforced to GISP standard for blast shielding and be electrically grounded to 2 megavolts. Subject must be contained separately and fed remotely. These guys are also weak to blunt damage, as is the pest.